In this Sailing Doodles, we do some shopping, boat fixing, and all the things we can do while locked down in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This season of Sailing Doodles features Bobby, Taylor, and Punky as we set sail for the Caribbean in our 1989 CT56. Thank you so much to our patrons for making this channel possible. In our previous video, we took you on a tour around the island of St. John. Part of the reason we got a marina is to go grocery shopping, so we're going to do that, bring our little cart with us, because there's like a grocery store 2 blocks away. And we'll do that, and then, because it's too expensive to stay here more than a couple nights. Marinas here are very expensive, so y'all ready?
It's not even worth it because the bathrooms are closed, so we can't even have a hot shower here.
Yeah, because of coronavirus, like there's no showers and all that out there, so you know, that's part of the nice thing about being in a marina when you're cruising is that, you know, nice long hot shower, which you don't do on a boat. So when you go cruising, you definitely want like a collapsible cart like this for your groceries. Well, makes it super easy. First things first though, so she's not a grumpy shopper, we need coffee.
I need coffee.
Only essential businesses only are open here. I guess they include coffee as essential businesses.
The schools are closed, but liquor stores and coffee shops are definitely deemed essential, so they're still open. You know, the world couldn't function without that.
That's right.
But now I'm happy.
So they have a queue. They have these little lines on the ground marked up where you're supposed to wait. And we're like number 3 in line to enter the grocery store. I guess it's, you know, 1 in, 1 out, or 1 out, 1 in. I think we're all in the same group. We can all stand.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know about that.
You know, yeah. So the store here is extremely well stocked. I'm very impressed. I mean, everything we could possibly need. While we were hearing horror stories of barren shelves back on the mainland, here in the USVI, the shelves were well stocked. So the other day when we came into the marina, our bow thruster worked, and then we were leaving, the marina would not work. This is a couple weeks ago when we were getting fuel. And so I've traced the problem down. It was the first thing I checked, which, because it felt like a power thing, because the battery had power and it just wasn't working. There's a thermal fuse that has popped. Basically, I just tested one end of the fuse and it was getting power, because it looks like it might be burned up a little. It's kind of hard to tell, but I tested one end of the fuse, it was 26.5 volts, and then the other end of the fuse was 0. So that tells me that fuse is busted. So I'm just going to disconnect power to that fuse and then pull the fuse out and replace it with a spare fuse. Here it is, the culprit, the fuse. Pretty heavy duty, 300 amps, but you can see it's burned out. But you know, those things pull a lot of watts, those bow thrusters. But you know, I mean, I'm sure it's been used a bunch, so it just wears out eventually. So I think I have another one of these on the boat and I'll replace it. All right, I have replaced the fuse. Now I'm going to go give it a test run. Alright, so here it is on and perfect. Alright, bow thruster's working. Here we go. That was a pretty simple fix. I'm glad that was easy.
Whee! Yeah, it was pretty fun getting into the dock. We actually didn't align it right without the bow thruster, so we kind of had to back out, and then we came into a different dock just because it was a lot easier to do that. So now that we've got that fixed, woohoo, good job. That was a weak high five.
Alright, we are headed to the pool because there's nothing else to do today. I already worked on the boat, we already provisioned, we're doing laundry. Let's go to the pool. There's nobody else there. We'll social distance across from each other. Well, most people come here to the pool just to relax and hang out, but no, not Punky. She came here to work out, so. She can do that too, it's okay. She, you know, she wants to look good in a bikini later on, so. Swag. It's a lot bigger than I was expecting. So this is Whitewater Life. They sent us a whole bunch of swag. So we got bikinis, we got shirts. They're gonna be our new like apparel provider and stuff like that. They're gonna do Sailing Doodles logoed stuff. So we're looking for that. Golf shirts, stuff like that. I'm excited about it. So a whole bunch of stuff here. See that?
You're awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, we are disconnected from shore power. About to throw lines, get off here. Unfortunately, the wind is actually pushing us on the dock here, and you can see our stern's this way, our bow's that way. We got the bow thruster working, but that's not really going to help us because we don't have enough room to swing around. Even if we did, it pushes on the dock. So basically what we're gonna have to do is maybe walk the boat back down the dock until we can clear the butt around, the stern around, and go around that way and then get out. So we'll take some coordination. Sorry guys, got busy and forgot to film it, but got off the dock, no problem. Now the girls are putting away the lines and fenders, and we're gonna go find a place to get on the hook for a while. After clearing the dock, we put away all our lines and fenders. Winds are out of the south today, so which is kind of uncommon. It's normally out of the east or northeast, but you know they're gonna be out of the south for a couple days. So we're gonna head down here to this island. It's Buck Island. It's normally not, I mean, we'll see how the anchorage is here on the north side. There's a couple boats already there. Hopefully the swell doesn't wrap around too much, and we'll see how it goes. Well, somebody's a little hungover today.
No.
No?
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit.
I was like on the verge of puking as I was driving up to the mooring ball. Maybe a dip in the water and a snorkel will help refresh me.
This water is really clear and really pretty. It's probably some of the clearest water we've seen. I mean, we can see we're in 30 feet of water, and you can see it's kind of windy right now, so there's some wind waves, but you can see straight down to the bottom. If it was calm, if there was no wind, you can see straight down the bottom, no problem.
Going out for a dip, bud.
So hard to breathe, 'cause when you get too close, I lose my way and I freeze. I wish you knew what power you have over me, but now it's so hard to breathe. Just get me out of here. Just get me out of here.
Not a bad night here at Buck Island. A little gentle rolly, but nothing that constitutes moving or anything like that. What we're gonna do here today in a little bit before it gets too hot, we're gonna go hike on that island, and well, there's another little bay across the way. I think it's gonna be rougher. We'll take a look while we're hiking though. And then, so it's a beautiful little spot here. We're gonna go hike up there, and there is like an old lighthouse up there I'll check out. And it's just a pretty neat spot. And then of course maybe do some more snorkeling and stuff. This is probably the clearest water we've sseen in the Caribbean. St. Thomas is great and it's beautiful, but it tends to happen when you get around the larger islands like that. There's a lot of runoff. There's rivers, lakes. I don't know if there's lakes, but there's, you know, runoff coming from that. So the water around that island is a little bit cloudier. Whereas we're about 2 miles, 3 miles off of that island right now on this little tiny island, and there's very little runoff from that. So the water's gonna be a lot clearer here. And of course, more current comes through over here, so it just clears the water. So we took the dinghy ashore to explore Buck Island. Let's see if we can find a trail. My guess is gonna be a trail over here. So normally when the winds are out of the east, that's the better anchorage, but the winds are a little out of the south right now, so it doesn't look too good. I think we're better over here. It's kinda nice. Most of the cruisers will put these little cairn rocks over there, so you know that's where the trail normally starts.
Up here, I think Punky noticed there's a gravestone over here. So there's actually like a little cemetery on this tiny island, which is pretty crazy. So we're gonna see what it's about.
It's a dog burial place.
Aww.
Rover.
My best friend. October 1980?
Yeah, January of 67 to October 1980.
Wow.
So yeah, January of 67 to 1980. Rover.
My best
Rest in peace, Rover.
Yeah, 13 and a half years old. I'm sure he was a good boy.
Dude.
Must have been a good boy if somebody took the effort to bring him out here, put this concrete over him, and bury him out here. All right, so now we're gonna go explore the lighthouse.
Well, the path is narrowing. It's getting a little bushy here, so we're hoping we're going in the right direction.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. I think I'm gonna wait here.
So that hike all the way here to the lighthouse, looks like it's seen better days. The last lighthouse we were actually able to go up, but it was made of concrete. This made out of steel. So they put up a little weather station here, although I don't know if it was a great idea to put it right next to the big giant building that messes up the wind, because the wind's clearly coming from this direction, but that thing's just spinning around because it's right next to the lighthouse, which is messing up the wind patterns. She's getting aloe.
Huh?
Getting aloe?
Yeah. Is it legal? Am I?
I think you're okay. What are you gonna use the aloe for?
I'm gonna make an aloe mask.
Oh yeah.
Because the sun, it's cooling. It's gonna keep me young forever.
So I don't know if anybody actually lived at this lighthouse, or they just kind of, I would doubt it. This isn't big enough, and I don't see any ruins for like an old residence or something. Some of the islands, especially the older ones, like yeah, this one being built out of steel and not concrete or stone, it's probably, I don't know. I'll look it up and give you an actual thing, but just off the top of my head, I'd say it's probably from the 50s, right? But if it was older than that, it would probably be built out of stone or concrete, and it would have lasted longer. Like this one's deteriorating pretty good.
I'm almost as tall as the lighthouse.
What's going on here?
I stepped on my cactus.
Ow.
Oh my god! Ow! Fuck that!
It's not as bad as an urchin. Yeah.
Here.
Why can't I touch it? Just
No, it'll stick in your finger.
I have an advice for people that want to come here. Long pants, closed shoes, a shirt, a machete, gloves. Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm really not doing this right.
No. Bobby's like, yeah, everybody, just wear flip-flops. I had running shoes on. He's like, yeah, no, just wear flip-flops.
Yeah, but yeah, we would have, I mean, you know, we had to step in water.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
All right, nice little hike. Now I think it's time to go get in the water and cool off. And I mean, the water is absolutely crystal clear here. So, okay, if you were just to jump in and swim around for a few minutes or whatever, get in at the beach, it's fine. The water's not that cold. But if you're gonna go snorkel for like 20 or 30 minutes, you know, we're wearing a wetsuit. Ooh, there's a turtle right over there.
He wears a wetsuit because he's a pansy.
Yeah, well, it's a little chilly. I mean, if you're gonna be in the water like 20, 30 minutes, or especially if you're gonna go diving, you're gonna go down underneath, you know, under the, because the cooler the water, the deeper you go. So, to be fair, she just said it's a bit nippy. She's rethinking the wetsuit.
We stayed up till the morning, talking till the first light of day.